Greetings, everybody. Welcome here to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So this is actually a redo album video. I got about 8 minutes into the other one and the computer died because I didn't have it plugged in and didn't realize it wasn't plugged in. Anyways, we'll just start again. That always works. So we're here to do new albums purchased. This is an episode I do every month. Last day of the month, I give you all the new albums I've purchased for the month of, in this case, the month of December, the final month of 2024. Yep. So I went out on Saturday and last Saturday and purchased a whole bunch. Was it Saturday? No, it was Boxing Day. Sorry. I was out Boxing Day, purchased a ton of stuff. I also had stuff from a few weeks before that. I'm waiting on something in the mail, but I doubt it's going to come, so it'll have to go in next month's. So we've got 13 here in total now. Normally, I usually give you the progressive stuff and then work my way down, but because I only got one progressive album this month, which is kind of strange for me. Usually it's like more than half of the stuff is usually progressive, but I only got one this month. So I do have quite a bit of poppy stuff. So my goal this month when I was out was to get some of the albums that I needed to kind of fill in some of my discographies, and then also I wanted to get some new stuff. So I did get one new album, like something released in 24, and then the rest of the stuff is basically stuff that I wanted to get for my collections. So I have 13 in total. So we're going to do what I normally do, which is I'll open them up if they need to be opened up, or I'll show you what's in them so the first one is this one from The Who. The Who Sell Out, some quirky kind of each of them doing their quirky kind of thing on each of them. A little bit of a description down here about what they're doing. It's kind of a serious album. Look at the hair on Roger Daltrey. Really? My God. It's 1960s, eh? The mod look. So anyways, we'll open it. There's what the album looks like on the inside. It's kind of reminds me a little bit of that Jethro Tull album, Thick as a Brick, with all that writing on it and stuff. So it comes with a little book. There's a picture of them all. It's not a bad picture of them. That's a pretty good shot of what they look like when they were young, right? John. Look at this hair on Keith, on Roger. There's a couple of shots here. Here's bad. And there's Pete Townsend. And last but not least, the Mooner. There he is. Looks very different from towards the end. Nice shot of Moon on the drum set with the Who logo on the drums there. And the goofy shot, which they always have to have because Keith's in there with his jester outfit. Look at the hair again on Roger, man. Wow. Yeah, I think I was happy when he moved out of the mod phase. A little bit too much. So anyways, that's one of the albums I need it from. This is an early album too from them. So I'm thinking this is like either their second or possibly their third studio album. It's not really a studio album, just a collection of songs really. It's got Mary Ann with the Shaky Hands. If you don't know that song, you should check it out. I Can See for Miles, of course, another fairly well-known track by them. Looking here. Hall of the Mountain King is on here as well, which is kind of funny. And they've got an additional version of Mary Ann with a Shaky Hand. So not a lot of big stuff on here. Kind of a early Who album. I don't know what year this was released. 65, I think, right? Maybe a little later, maybe a little earlier. I'm not sure. Anybody knows, let me know. Anyways, I had to have this one for my collection because I'm like that. I like to have every album from it, even if I don't necessarily like the album. I still like to have it anyways. So there you go. That's the first one. So the next one up is, I already own this one. I didn't know I owned it. I forgot I had it, and when I saw it, I thought I had looked at it before and then passed on it. That's what happened. But I didn't. So it's the Beatles for Sale. This is a different version. The one I have is in a container that doesn't have the glass container. I like these better. They protect the album better. They last longer. They're not cheap looking either. So a nice shot of the boys on the back, a nice shot of the boys on the front. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I've done this album before, I know. And then you've got this in the middle here, George in the middle there. Yeah, this is a poppy Beatles album, one of their early albums. Lots of poppy stuff on here. Of course, like every Beatles album, there's a half a dozen songs on here that everybody knows. I'm a Loser. I Follow the Sun. 8 Days a Week, one of my favorite songs by them. Every Little Thing. I Don't Want to Spoil That Party. And then, of course, Everybody's Trying to Be My Baby, which is a Perkins. They did quite a bit of Perkins stuff. Oh, Rock and Roll Music is on here, the Chuck Berry song as well. So very kind of poppy, kind of upbeat type music for the early Beatles stuff, which I do like. I like both eras of the Beatles for different reasons. This one, I do like all their poppy stuff as well. One of the few bands that I'm actually like their stuff that all the way through. Next up, the other Beatles album that completes my collection. This also comes from The Beat Goes On. I was there buying some CD covers to replace for some of my broken ones here. And I bought 3 albums. They had a couple of Beatles albums. I thought I needed both. I thought I was scoring big, but actually I paid too much now. Picture of John here. And then the other 2, George and Paul, and Ringo at the back here. So not much to this. This is the Help album. Lots of good classic songs on this. Help, of course. You've got to Hide Yourself Away. You're Going to Lose That Girl, another great song. Ticket to Ride is on here. It's Only Love. It's not Yesterday, a Dizzy Miss Lizzie, Hank Williams song on here, I think. Yeah, some just really good stuff on here. So this is actually a soundtrack from the movie as well. So that's my third one. Next up, I got one album by these guys, but I wanted the first one. So this is the Chicago Transit Authority, the only album with this on it. The only album that they released where they were called Chicago's Transit Authority. After that, they just became Chicago. They dropped the Transit Authority part. Got some good stuff on here. I like their early stuff quite a bit. Very uplifting, very lots of different instrumentation, lots of like very strong poppy kind of stuff, but really good. So Chicago Transit Authority. Next up, now, I originally thought this was, when I first looked at it, I didn't really look at it too closely, obviously. I thought this was the Central Park, Live in Central Park, Simon and Garfunkel, but it isn't. This is, I'm pretty sure this is live from New York City. This is the 67. I believe the Central Park one was in the 70s. Correct me if I'm wrong. It might even have been in the 80s. There's a possibility. I know it was later than they had gotten back together to do it. So that might be a totally different, completely different set of songs there. But this one's still really good. It's got a lot of their stuff. Homeward Bound is on here. I Am a Rock. Most of the stuff is a little bit more of a deeper cuts than you would, unless you're a real Simon and Garfunkel stuff. Maybe you wouldn't know a lot of this stuff, but I love them live. I like their vocal harmonies live. Just fantastic. And of course I got this. It was like $9. Probably paid too much for it, but yeah, it's not always an easy album to find. Next up is the hard rock stuff we're going to start with. This was one that I need about 4 for this band to complete it. I'm not sure if I'm going to get the entire collection because there's one album that, unless I absolutely get it for free, I don't want it. And it's Styx Edge of the Century album. Don't know too much about this album. This was in the time period with Dennis DeYoung, who produced this. This came after, I believe, the Mr. Roboto album. I'm not sure even what this is like. I don't know anything about it. I'm completely in the dark about this album. Show Me the Way, I know that song, so if that's the way this album is, maybe I'm not going to like it. So, but it is a Styx album, so there's usually at least a half a dozen songs on any Styx album that I will like, even if I maybe don't necessarily like the album. So, yeah, Edge of the Century, I think it's a 1990 release, so it's one of about 4 Styx albums I don't own. There's the earlier one and the Big Bang Theory one, which I think is a if I'm wrong, I think that's a collection of covers, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then there's a Brave New World, or is that Iron Maiden? I'm getting confused with. But anyways, there's at least one in '99, and then there's of course the Mr. Roboto album, which I'm not looking forward to getting. And then there's another one I think in there that I'm missing that I'm not talking about. But anyways, this one I decided to get it. I like this cover. It's a little bit different, and the Styx logo isn't so bold as it normally is. Did I open this and look at it? I don't think I did. So it's kind of a coppery colored album with a book in it, which is also coppery colored. Yeah, just basically lyrics. There's a picture of them here. This is Dennis with his short hair, not quite white yet, and JY there. Mustache JY with his curly hair, and then this Glenn Burtnick is on this, so there's no Chuck Panozzo. Oh no, actually there's no Tommy Shaw. That's who's missing. Tommy Shaw's missing here, so you got Chuck Panozzo and John Panozzo here. So there's John with his blonde hair. He got rid of the big hairy mop on top of his head, and then you've got his brother Chuck here with a more conservative look. I look at them sometimes, and you can see it by looking at them that they're obviously twin brothers. But I don't always think of them that way, even though I know they are. Anyways, Styx's Edge of the Century. Next up, finally, this one's going to go well with somebody. I did crack it when I was offloading it out of my bag. I was really too excited, I guess. And this is Thunder 7 by Triumph. Yes, I know. I've been getting yelled at to get this album for a while now. And the last time I was going to get it, and then I decided to get Progressions of Power. So this time I decided that I already have Progressions of Power, so I should get it. So I'm just going to open it, because it's a brand new album, same as Progressions of Power was. So yeah, a really interesting looking cover. If you can look at that. Kind of reminds me of the Borg from Star Trek. Inside of the album of Gaines, sharp looking, and then it comes with the booklet, of course, and it opens up into this kind of mechanical looking thing inside. So there's not much more to it than this, but it's really good. Like I'm looking forward to this album. I don't know anything about this album, not much anyways. I think there's at least one, or possibly there's 2 tracks on here that I'm spellbound. I know that one. The rest I'm not sure about, but I'm sure it's going to sound very kind of similar to what they've done up till this point. It was released in '84. I think they changed after that, started getting more commercial sounding, although they were getting more commercial sounding even with the previous 2 or 3 from here, but not extensively. I think they got more after that. So I did crack that one, by the way, too. Next one up is the only kind of prog album I got. It's kind of a heavy prog album, of course. Sounds like this from Nectar. Again, very colorful albums by them. This one opens up into a booklet thing, so you've got all this cover stuff going on here on the front. Actually, I really like this last picture. Where is it? Right here. Almost nebula-like. And then you've got the inside, which is extremely psychedelic looking. Look at that, eh? Very spacey, very psychedelic looking. It comes with 2 CDs. Does it come with a book? I don't see the book. Well, maybe right here. What's this? No. Yeah, it's a small book. Sounds like this. It's got a book inside showing the band from the time period. Is this like their fourth? I think this might be their fourth studio album. It's either their third or their fourth. I can't remember. And I like that time period for them the best. And there's some more shots and more explanations. And then, of course, the lyrics for the songs. So that comes with this package here for this album. It has 2 discs in it. So the first disc is the studio album itself, and then the second disc is radio versions. Do You Believe in Magic? Recorded November the 13th, 1971, in Germany. And then it's got Good Day, Odyssey, Do You Believe in Magic, Odyssey, Ron's On. Not sure what that means. And then A New Day's Dawning. So yeah, so it's I guess one of them's a little bit of a radio sound, possibly some live stuff going on. And then the other disc is the original CD. So there you go. Sounds like this from Nectar. Well, my Nectar collection is getting close to all the albums I have anyways. Next up is another, now we're going to get into the metal albums. I've got 4. I'm going to actually put this bottom one last because it's the prize of my collection today. So this one, Final Frontier from Iron Maiden. I think it might be used. I think it's used actually. They just, with the store that I go to, they wrap them. Sometimes they'll wrap them. So it's got this CD. I just want to make sure the CD's good because the wrapping wasn't that good. Yeah, it's clean. It's nice CD. Nice cover. So this is Iron Maiden's Final Frontier, released in 2015. Now I'm curious. This looks very kind of spacey. Yeah, almost like Heavy Metal, the movie. Let's see what the booklet says here. So this is a 6-man band here. So that means that everybody's on this album that you want on this album. That's a fucking awesome picture of Eddie. Eddie from space. Some nice shots from the moon. Planets out there. Some more shots here, like this is a really spacey looking album for them. Not so much scary, but it's spacey looking. Really excellent stuff. And then whatever this is on the back page here. Eddie in space, I guess. So, that's the first one of the metal albums I got. Iron Maiden's Final Frontier. I don't think this is their last album. I think they have a couple after this one, but this is one of the ones I saw that I wanted to have. The next one up is another Iron Maiden album. This one is, I know this one is minus Dickerson, so I'm not sure if I'm going to like this. I don't know much about Bailey. That's a nice picture in there, though. Freaking scary looking as hell. Look at that. Pictures are upside down in this thing. Maybe they're like that for a reason. Picture of just 5 of them in here this time. So it looks like Bailey and McBrain, of course, he's in there. We knew that was the case. And this is Janet Gears, of course. Replaced Adrian. And there's a nice shot of all 4 of them here. 5 of them, sorry. And then you've got this picture, which is kind of scary. And also, then you've got Blaze Bailey there. He took over vocals from Bruce Dickerson, as most of you already know that. So Steve Harris, kind of the leader. It's his band, I guess, mostly. Then there's just some pictures here. There's a picture of The 5 of them there, and wherever that is, looks like Eddie Van Halen actually. And then this scary looking monstrosity here. So I think I missed one of them. I don't remember saying anything about Dave Murray, sorry. No, there he is. Yeah, I did miss him, Dave Murray. So this is their X album. Which one of them is this? This is, let's put it back together first. Weird. It's upside down on one part and right side up on the other part. Try to get it in here. So this is Iron Maiden, and the album is, this is the X Factor. So this is the first of the 2 Bailey vocaled albums by them. So the next album out is the last in that long run of albums, or actually I don't think this is the last. This is 98. Well, maybe it is. It could be. No, it can't be 98. This is too late. Maybe this is a digitally remastered issue. That's what it is. So the album, of course, is Somewhere in Time. I believe this was like released before No Prayer for the Dying. Doesn't give me a time period though. God, I hate that. Bands, a lot of bands do this now. They don't tell you anything about when the album was released because they don't want you to think it's an old album. Some nice pictures though. Excellent. This book is full of a lot of stuff. Very, again, kind of a spacey feel to it. I'm not going to show you them all. I'll just show you the choice ones here. And there's a nice shot at the beginning of them all too. Yeah, I believe this is like the album after Power Slave, but before Seventh Son of the Seventh Son. Or maybe it's between Seventh Son of the Seventh Son and No Prayer for the Dying. I'm not quite sure. It doesn't really give me a time figure on it, but I think it definitely belongs in with the original group of their classic run at the beginning. I got it for $11. I'm happy. I got all 3 of them, I think, for the same $11. And now we're going to get to the final album for this month. Brand new Opeth album. People had to know this was coming. Tried to get this last week and couldn't get it because they sold it out. But this week they had more copies of it, so I bought it. I cracked it too. It was one of the 2 albums I cracked when I took the stuff out of the bag. This one was the back end and the other one was at the front end, and they both got cracked, so I got to replace them. Replace the covers if I can get the stupid thing open. That'd be good. So this was pricey. It's about $20. I like the cover. It's a little bit dark though. Might not be able to see it too well. This is Opeth's newest album. It's called The Last Will and Testament. Fantastic album. If I'd owned it, maybe it would have been my favorite album of last year. It would have been close. I did like the Invincible Shield by Judas Priest quite a bit, but I played that a lot too. This album is brand new, so I haven't got a chance to play it. It's got the lyrics in here, of course. I'm not sure what all the blackout is supposed to be about. Oh, you know what? This is a story. That's what this is. I forgot. This is a story, so it may be part of that, having an effect on it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I've listened to it once online, and then when I did the review, so a couple times. So I'm going to have to replace the back part here. It's called Cracked. If you can see it. This and the Iron Maiden, sorry, not the Iron Maiden, the Triumph album both got cracked when I unwrapped them. So anyways, that's it. Opeth is the final one. Last Will and Testament. New album for 2024. Fantastic album. Highly recommend it. If you like Opeth, you're going to love it. And if you don't know Opeth, you're going to love it. And if you are not into metal, you're still going to love it. Yeah, so I think it's a great album. Easily one of the top 2 or 3 of the year. So anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of New Albums Purchased. We'll be back again next month at the end of January with another group of new albums purchased. And I hope to see you all then. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. Also, hit the notification bell above my head. And If you got any comments about any of the albums I purchased, you can put that in the comments section below. I'm sorry the video is a little bit long, but that happens when you get too many albums. Okay, have yourself a good one. Take care and goodbye.